I got into the deck open.
It's so much fun.
I'm really looking forward to it. How about our bees?
Not as awesome.
Not as awesome. But you know who's up 3-1? Our Celtics.
I'm not a Celtics fan.
It's so weird. So
It's
weird.
not weird.
Oh, it's so weird.
If you had seen Magic Johnson play Larry Bird in 1979, you would understand.
You watched Larry Bird play.
I did, and I said Magic Johnson's going to be my guy. I don't hate the Red Sox. I hate the Patriots.
Sure.
I hate the Patriots.
Fucking awesome.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we owe 2 hands worth of rings.
You were awesome. And you made the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
You got embarrassed. We need to recap that handshake.
No, but listen, we did really well in the draft.
Welcome to the Talkin' Divots podcast. I'm Steve Byrne.
I'm Jack Snow, and let's get into the recap of the Zurich Classic down in New Orleans. We had brothers Matthew Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick close the deal here at -31. It was a tournament record. We saw a 57 in best ball from them on Saturday. It was unbelievable golf, 15 under. That was also a tournament record at the Zurich Classic. We also saw a 58 from Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer in best ball. That was Thursday. And a 59 from Austin Eckroat and Davis Thompson in best ball on Thursday as well. They were in the lead after day one, kind of fizzled out, but they finished in the top 5, top 10. It's really awesome to see Matthew Fitzpatrick win 3 out of the last 4 starts he's had on the PGA Tour. Also, Alex Fitzpatrick getting that win, got his PGA Tour card. He's also in the field this week at the Cadillac Championship. But Matthew Fitzpatrick, is he the hottest player in golf, or is he the best player in the world right now?
I would say yes to your first question. I would say hold on the second one. But without a shadow of a doubt, I mean, he is on a heater. I would not want to play this guy in match play. I wouldn't want to play him anywhere if he only had 3 clubs, because he is driving the ball great. His wedges are incredible, and that dude makes every putt that he looks at. This number 3 ranking is justified. He's got 2 juggernauts in front of him, Scotty and Rory. Understandable, but those 3 are separating themselves from the rest of the world. I say hats off to Matt, and I got to love on Alex a little bit here. This was such a cool thing, man, watching 2 brothers win a PGA Tour event. That's what makes this tournament so incredible, is it can change the fortune of somebody who just doesn't expect to be there. You mentioned a couple names, that were coming down the stretch here. There were guys who could have secured their tour card for 2 years, could have been invited to the signature series of events for the remainder of this year, could have played their way into the PGA, could have played their way into next year's Players' Championship, but Alex got the job done in the end. And anybody who says that, maybe he rode his brother Matthew's coattails all the way, not one bit. Alex did not drive it into trouble on number 12. That was Matthew. Yeah. And they ended up taking a double bogey there. Alex tried his best to get them back out into play, hit a tree. They made a double bogey. They made it a little hard on themselves coming down the stretch. But in the end, they did enough to solidify that win, highlighted by a tremendous 35-yard bunker shot by Matthew on 18 that spun to about a foot. But you know what? Hey, Alex had to make that putt.
Yeah.
I would have stood over that thing like that. But kudos to them. And I want to say the first cheers of the night, as we almost always do, to the Fitzpatrick boys. Matthew, this is becoming a thing. Alex, welcome to the winner's circle. Cheers.
Cheers. No, to your point to Matty's putting, he's still putting with a blade, and not a lot of guys on tour. I mean, everyone's going to that spider mallet, Rory, Scotty, Morikawa. So I like seeing a blade out there because I'm a blade guy myself. and just to your point of this tournament, I think chemistry and comfortability is such a big thing, especially in the alternate shot. And these boys grew up playing golf together, growing up, and training, practicing. They know each other's games. They can offer each other advice, and a lot of times that can come off as confrontational, and in these types of settings where you're paired up with a random guy, you're playing alternate shot, you're like, don't hit driver here, and he's like, no, driver's my best club in my bag, blah blah blah. It can ruffle the feathers a little bit. And last week, you were very high on Shane Lowry and Brooks Koepka.
Man, was I
and
ever.
I was very skeptical of them being able to play nice together and jive. And I saw some clips of them, and they're laughing and having fun. But ultimately, they didn't make the cut. And I don't think they have that chemistry. And these guys, Alex is, 150th, 200th in the world? I mean,
not anymore.
Not anymore, but coming into this tournament, and they got the job done. And Matty was reading all the putts. Alex was trusting his reads. How could you not? I mean, he just won 2 out of his last 3 tournaments. But I think just, them being brothers, like I'd love to see the Højgaard twins play in this, because those guys are demons, like we've talked about a lot, and, very tough. Alternate shot, I mean, it's simple for them.
And this brings up an interesting point that we've touched on in shows past, where is this another Ryder Cup team in the making? Because if the Højgaard twins are going to be there pulling their Wonder Twin powers bullshit on us, we don't stand much of a chance if the Fitzpatricks can fill that team number 2 slot. I mean, good God, if this becomes a family affair, I mean, I don't know what the U.S. team is going to have to do. I mean, they did name their captain this week. Is going to be Jim Furyk. I think that was a good, safe pick, a very smart pick, a guy who's very cool under pressure, very organized, very detail-oriented. I mean, let's not forget, this guy has won like 17 times, definitely 15, at least 15 times on tour. He's won a U.S. Open. He's also got the lowest recorded round on a PGA Tour sponsored 4-day event with a 58
Mr.
at
58.
TPC Cromwell. And he's also got a 59. Let's not forget that. This guy's been there. He's done that. He's captained this team before. Yeah, it was a 17.5, 10.5 blowout in Rome. But you know what? We learn a lot from our mistakes. And these guys are no different. They learn as much from these tournaments that they lose by 1 as they do from these tournaments that they win by 5. And Furyk's been on both sides of those tables. So I expect Furyk to be a great choice. Do I expect them to win? Time will tell. But this was an interesting past week. It showed a lot. There were some guys who I was rooting for. Like there's this guy, Trace Crow. And we had mentioned earlier about people changing their fortunes through this tournament because of its unique nature. I got to say I was rooting for Trace Crow, a guy who I don't know if he's had a PGA Tour start this year, but he had one this week and he almost made the most of it. And it would have been a really, really cool story because he's a really cool guy. He's very well liked. And now that he's back on the Corn Ferry Tour, we don't get to see him as much. But I'd say a guy like Trace Crow could have taken this tournament and run with it. A guy like, Davis Thompson, who's made his hay so far on the PGA Tour, this could have elevated him. This is a cool tournament, and I can't wait for it every year. And this year, it didn't disappoint.
And in contrary a little bit to that, I would like to see a lot of the best guys in the world play in this format. Where
absolutely,
we saw Rory and Shane Lowry win this tournament a few years ago.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Last year.
They won last year, yeah. But, Scotty Scheffler teamed up with Sam Burns. They're buddies, and they played very well together. Si Woo and Sung Jae. I mean, like...
Schauffele and Cantlay.
And these guys do show up every now and then, but I don't know. Do I dare say it? Make it a signature series event?
No, don't
maybe
say
not
that.
Not this one in particular, but make a similar format to a signature series event where we see, the top 50 players in the world buddy up and see how they do in this format. Because I'm a guy who likes these funky things. 2-man scrambles, alternate shot, brambles, whatever. It's just fun to watch, and it's just a little different. And I think if it was a stronger field, more people would watch. I mean, I wasn't super enthused to watch this just because, one, I was very, very busy this weekend, and I wasn't sitting down. But, if it was the Masters weekend, I'd be sitting down on my couch making time for it.
Absolutely would be. And, there's so many edges to this sword here. Should more top players play in it? should it be open to players like Zach Boshu, who's trying to cut his teeth on the PGA Tour this season?
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool team with he and Sam Sneaky Stevens.
They did good.
They did really well. These two Oklahoma State Cowboys, they came out slinging, man. Day one, they put their foot down and said, you guys got to take this from us. I mean, they played very well. I would love to see a guy like Boshu come out and just like, boom, here I am. I'm going to win this tournament. Come take it from me. You know, they played like that on day one. They were unable to sustain that through the tournament, but you saw them here and there, and that's what this tournament does, is it affords these guys a stage where they can have a 3-hole run where they birdie, eagle. It's like, wow, now you know that guy's name, and you know it all season long.
Yeah, and to your point about the Ryder Cup captain, I think Keegan was a good pick in terms of his pride for the USA and just true care about it. I think it generated way too much speculation whether or not he was playing or not. I think that was very unfair to him. So I like taking a guy a little bit removed from his playing days, like Jim Furyk. I think Keegan will be a great captain 10 years from now, right? And we can come back to him. But I think he was a little too giddy where, you know, he just was so pumped to be the captain, and maybe the guys in the locker room didn't feel that poise like, you know, like a coach has over a team. And one, just the overwhelming aspect is he playing or not? I think that was a little unfair.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Keegan play, and that's not in hindsight. I sat in this clubhouse during that press conference where he said he was not going to play, and I was distraught.
Yeah.
I was really pissed. I remember getting a couple texts from our buddies who were not in the clubhouse saying, oh, is Steve going to be okay? Keegan's not going to play. You know, I think this choice of Furyk is going to light a fire under Keegan's butt, and he's going to put the pedal down. He's going to make that team.
I hope he does. He's not in it right now.
He's not in it right now. No. He hasn't been playing great.
No.
I think there was still speculation that he was going to be the captain again. So, you know, he might have been distracted a little bit, but it'll be great to see Keegan get back into that hunt because nobody loves the Ryder Cup the way that Keegan does. I wish I could understand it the way he understands it, but I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
But I do think he is a great Ryder Cup player. I do think he's a stalwart PGA Tour pro. I want to see him back on this team. If I could encourage Jim Furyk to just keep Keegan close to him, I would do so. But that's going to be a tough team to make.
He could be a captain's pick, but yeah, he's got to play better.
He
doesn't have the results this year, and we've got a lot of guys from America very well deserving of being on that team right now.
Absolutely.
It's a long season, a lot can change, but we'll see.
There's a couple other guys from this tournament that I'd like to mention because I thought this was an interesting, scenario. And I don't mean to keep harping on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, but Chris Ventura and his partner were right there at the end. And this could have changed Chris Ventura's life. I mean, they made a great charge on the back nine. I want to say they were clubhouse leaders for a good 3 or 4 holes, or at least they were tied for the lead. And then that birdie on 18 by the Fitzpatrick boys changed the complexion of the tournament. But, Chris Ventura is a guy who's mostly starting on the Korn Ferry these days. He was outside of the top 100 at the end of last season. So he was relegated, right? Hayden Springer kind of fell into that same category, just outside of it. Hayden Springer is a solid player, really solid. He gets his starts and he shows up.
You haven't seen his name up there in a while. I remember
he's playing on the Korn Ferry.
Yeah, there's one tournament where he was, in the lead, second, bouncing back and forth last year. That's the last time I kind of remember him popping up. Mm-hmm. But no, he played well. Alex Smalley played really well as well.
Alex Smalley was a stud this week.
He was great.
Yeah. But in the end, Alex and Matt, they did it. And, this is pretty amazing for Alex because he's already won this year, but it was on the DP.
Yep.
He won a week separated from his brother winning across the state in Tampa at the Valspar. Alex won the Indian Open on the DP World Tour. That was his first win on the DP World Tour. It was really, really cool that they did that they won so close together. But this ups his profile. He's going to be in America now for the remainder of this season.
He's playing this week.
He got himself into the signature series of events for the remainder of the year. this might be an interesting revelation. I want to keep our eyes on Alex Fitzpatrick because kid's got crazy game.
Yeah.
Crazy game. You don't play at Wake Forest by mistake or by accident. You earn your way there. And he was a stud there, and he's been a stud on the DP World Tour.
Definitely.
Let's see him, spread those wings on the PGA Tour. I think he's got it in him.
I do too. Well, I think that wraps up the Zurich Classic. Let's set the board for the Cadillac Championship. Played at Trump National Doral, just down the road from us in Miami.
About 40 miles.
I've had a few invites there. Haven't quite got out there yet. I'll wait. I don't want to play it set up how the tour pros are playing it at 7,739 yards. It's
Crazy.
the second longest track these guys are going to play this year, behind Torrey Pines North. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Is that longer than this?
That's by like 30 yards.
Oh my God.
I know. So this is the second longest this year, par 72. We haven't seen this tournament since 2016.
Yeah.
Played at Trump National. It became the WGC Mexico tournament for a few years, and then COVID, and then they discontinued it. Cadillac stopped sponsoring it in 2016. But this is a beast of a golf course. There's a lot of water. They had a live tournament there last year. I think this distance is going to play a factor in who's up there and on Sunday. And I'm very excited to watch because I don't know this course too well. I haven't seen it since 2016, and I was just a baby.
I don't think. Just got to throw that in there, don't you? You weren't a baby.
I mean, I could barely walk.
I think you were in college, so you probably couldn't walk for other reasons at that point. But that's good. You're supposed to be an idiot.
I was a junior in
college.
high school.
You were a junior in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, to your point, this was a DP, or I'm sorry, a live stop for the last few years. So we haven't seen it for a good long time since 2016. The 2014 remodel by Gil Hanse, I can't wait to see it. Ray Floyd got his hands on this golf course years ago, added a bunch of bunkers, and I think there was some pushback on tour about how it played as a result. Now, Ray Floyd he's got his thumbprint on a couple Florida golf courses, like Old Palm up the road. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal golf course. I think he's done a great job. I thought he did a good job on Doral back in the day. I don't know if that played a part in it falling off of the popularity scale, but don't knock my boy Ray Floyd. He has one of the best stares of all time. Point at you and he would scare the shit out of you. But this is a cool re-entry into the PGA Tour schedule.
Yeah.
It was from 1962 to 2016 that this was a constant stop.
Right.
And I think it was only for the remodel in 2014 and 15 that it stopped.
Well, so they started playing there in 2007 primarily. The tournament beforehand was at different courses.
Right, on the property.
Yeah. And they definitely made the stop there. But the Blue Monster course there, they stopped in 2016 because Cadillac dropped their sponsorship. Yeah. So that's when it became the WGC Mexico event. But just, I like to do the past winners, and it obviously starts with 2016.
Yeah.
Adam Scott, Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Tiger, Justin Rose, Nick Watney. So
two of those 6 players are playing in this field of this week's event.
Yes, 2 are. And for some reason, I thought Patrick Reed is when I was making my picks, and I got all excited. He's not playing for a few more months.
Guess who is leading the DP race to Dubai?
I'm guessing it's Patrick Reed.
It is Patrick Reed.
He's won 2 or 3 times, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. But this is a big boy golf course, and I think they're going to set it up like a major. I don't think it's going to be easy. And we play out here in South Florida. We know the wind picks up to 20, 30 miles an hour every afternoon. So, Sunday is going to be a great finishing 9 to watch. We've had some weather. The rain's, we're getting into rainy season. It's starting to pick up. And, I'm excited that it's here. I do have an invite to go down on Friday, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
You got to go, man.
Busy schedule.
I think it's an interesting golf course in that water is everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
14 of the 18 holes. Water is on display, and it's not just on display, it's in play.
And you're not
interesting.
And you're not able to lay up all the time because of the length.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to go for most of these.
You got to go. Yeah.
It'll be real. T-balls are going to be very interesting and very much a part of the landscape of how this tournament plays out.
Totally.
So, yeah. Speaking of the golf course, I would like to take this moment to give a little shout out to PJ Salter, who is the Director of Agronomy at the Blue Monster. His golf course superintendent is Joshua Hollins, and the lead equipment manager is Andy Wilson. Good luck this week, guys. I know you're going to do a great job, and hope you get a chance to enjoy yourselves as well. Cheers.
Cheers. Little bit of Tiger talk. At Doral, he's got 2 wins. His first win was in 2007. He was 10 under. Next in 2013, he was 19 under, and I believe that was the lowest score this tournament saw. Just to throw out a few names who he beat back in 2013.
Oh, this will be good.
Steve Stricker, Sergio, Phil, and Graham McDowell were all at 14 under right there.
I mean, 3 guys who were on live and 1 guy who is living the best life ever fishing in Wisconsin.
And I mean, those are all great names to think about because that's what it was, back in 2013, those guys. And this was a tough tournament, and Tiger won this countless times beforehand, before they primarily started playing at the Blue Monster course. But he's dominated at this one, and it's a big purse, it's a big event. And I'm very excited to have it back on tour as a signature event where we see all these guys play it. Like I said, I think it's going to be a major setup, and the best of the best are going to win.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a really tough setup. I hope they don't stretch it to 7750 because...
Oh, they are.
Wow. That's sad. And for me, I'm not a purist or anything. I like to see these guys get challenged. I just, with 14 holes with water in play and 110 bunkers, they don't need a 7750 test to throw on top of that. But hey, you know what? Go for it.
It's going to challenge the guys who are hitting their big stick well to pull it out in moments. And I think a lot of guys are going to have to lay up and, use 3-wood to play positional golf and have a lot of long irons. So that's why I'm excited to see it. It's not going to be a driver wedge fest like we see at a lot of stops. It's going to challenge these guys to pull out their 5-iron, 5 times a round and see who's the best ball striking, who has the best ball striking in those 4 days.
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I have no problem with the best players in the world being identified through the difficulty of a golf course. But I don't want to see the best players in the world also being embarrassed. Like, give me a break. 7750, what's next? Are we going to play an 8,000-yard golf course? Well, it'd be okay if it was at 5,000 feet of elevation. At sea level, 7750 with 14 holes of water and 110 bunkers. No, thank you.
Well, to your point, I don't think anyone's going to get embarrassed. I mean, some guys will probably have a bad round, but it's going to bring the best of the best out of these guys, and the best player that week's going to win. Also, with all the ball rollback and equipment change rollback that they're proposing, this counteracts that to say, all right, guys, you have all the equipment, all the balls, all the spin dialed in. Go for it. Let's see how you do.
I think my main point of interest here is that nobody in this field has any experience on this golf course in tournament play.
Well, I think it's awesome.
You are a mean son of a bitch.
I think it's awesome. I really do because, I mean, you can, for our picks especially too, you can look back and say, all right, this guy's come top 5 here in the last 3 years. All right, solid pick. Boom.
Can't do it this week.
This one's kind of all up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think T-balls are going to be very interesting. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
You said ball striking. Ball striking is totally going to be important. They still got to roll the rock.
Oh, yeah.
And I have not seen those greens since Hans redid them. They used to be wild. And I hope they kind of kept some of that. I bet you they did. Yeah. But I'm as interested to see the golf course as I am to see the golf.
Yeah. And there are Bermuda fairways, Bermuda greens, so I have a lot of trouble on Bermuda just reading grain and whatnot, being from the Northeast, not having to do that. We'll see.
I'll give you a lesson someday.
Yeah, I know. Colors, it's like, all right, this one's shiny, this one's dark. I'm like, okay,
shiny,
whatever.
Down grain.
Yeah, no.
Dark, into the grain.
I get it. It's just, I don't compute it well.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah,
wax
100%.
on, wax off. Does that reference make any sense to you?
Yes, Karate Kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not that old or young.
You're a funny guy. Sometimes I think you say things like that to remind me of how old I am.
Not
But
really.
you know what? You're a 27-year-old
Yeah.
who's got like a 55-year-old soul.
All my friends are 55.
I'm a 54-year-old who's got like the soul of a 10-year-old. So
Yeah.
that's why I think, it works between us.
A little yin and yang.
Little yin and yang. Yes, a little bit of yin and yang. I thought you made an interesting comment about this golf course and, the way it's going to be set up. With that type of length, you also have a lot of variations that you can. I'll be interested to see the par threes. I'll be interested to see because I think there's 3 par threes that can play over 220 yards.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting if they shove them up one day and a 220-yard par 3 can play at 130 yards. That would be cool. I'd love to see that. They'd have to push one of the par 5s back to make room for it on the scorecard, but it'll be interesting.
No, I'm excited.
So, Jack, give me your picks for this week's Cadillac Championship. I want to hear your top 20 first.
Yeah, I really liked my picks, and it was tough because there was a lot of guys that I really, I'm going to bet independently, but I wanted to choose for this because we do have to get back on track. And,
do we ever?
I wasn't going necessarily safety picks, once again, following vibes. So with my top 20, I'm going to take Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay. Yeah.
He's at plus 110, which, I liked a little better odds for that with him. Hasn't had his best season on tour that I've seen, but hasn't missed a cut. He's got 6 top 25s, no wins. Believe he has 1 top 10 so far, but a big stat I was really looking into other than driving distance and driving accuracy was long iron striking and, using those higher irons. And so outside of 100 yards, he's 3rd this year in strokes gained approach. And I wasn't necessarily surprised by that because he's one of the best ball strikers on tour. His nemesis has always been the putter. But when he gets that hot, like we saw in the Masters a few years ago, he can win any tournament. And his tee-ball's been okay this year. He has lost so many right. I feel like whenever they show a tee shot from Hideki, it's just a flare out to the right. So, I don't know. He's taken a few weeks off. He's got his mind right. I think if he gets hot, he can be in the top 10. I don't see him necessarily winning this tournament, but I like Hideki as a top 20 pick. He's also my guy. So, once again, vibes. Just need to get back on that train, get a dub. Solid top 20 there.
Who is not your guy? Who is not your guy?
Listen, I got guys and I don't have guys. He's my guy. Hideki's my guy.
Hideki is awesome. I love watching him swing. I think it's a unique swing. I think it's a unique stance. He stands with his feet as far apart as anybody I've ever seen, but yet he somehow is able to turn his hips. Guy's made of rubber. It's really, really cool to watch him swing, and he's so fast. He's so powerful. I'd love to see this dude in the gym because I think he could probably move mountains in there. I think that's a cool pick. I think it's a bit of a safe pick. Jack, but that's okay.
I felt a little uneasy about it too. He's the guy where I'm always 100% certain or no, it's not his week.
Yeah.
This one was kind of in between, but
all right.
Yeah.
All right. That's all right. I'll take that. I got a cool top 20. He's popped up here and there this year. Not a guy who I've overall had a lot of faith in the 25-26 season, but he shows up. And I'm going to go with Sam Burns for my top 20 pick. He's plus 100, so not a big payout, but it's got to let me know that, okay, Vegas knows something. He's got to be able to at least finish in the top 20. This is going to have to pay out a little bit to me. There's 80 guys in this field, maybe a hair less. Sam Burns is one of the best players in the world. He's got to be in the top 15 in the world. Yeah. I'd say he's somewhere
probably
in that
20,
top,
yeah,
top 20 maybe. Give me a top 20, Sam Burns. Come on, baby. And this is grass that he's familiar with, having played at LSU and growing up in the bayou. Sam Burns is a solid player. I keep waiting for this guy to just set the world on fire. And I don't know, man. It's I know he's up for the big moments. I know he is. Show me and do it this week. Don't just finish top 20. Go out and win this tournament, but I got him top 20.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of length, and he's one of the best putters in the world. So,
he is a great putter.
I think any week he could win when his ball striking and driving kind of aligns with how he rolls the rock. He's always one of my favorite players to watch.
Is he one of your guys?
He's definitely, I would say
he's on that second tier.
Yeah, he's not my
guys.
guy, but he's there. I like watching him play. I like that pick a lot, and I looked at him pretty heavy.
Yeah.
My top 10 is a guy who I think this course just sets up way too well for, Jake Knapp. Plus 260. He's having his best season on tour, other than getting a win thus far. Very long off the tee. He's a great iron player. And so far this season, he's one of the best putters on tour. 7th in strokes gained putting this year. He's 8th,
That's elite.
8th in strokes gained total. And he's only 54th in strokes gained off the tee, which I think is very shocking with how far he hits it. He's been missing a lot of fairways and obviously not capitalizing, but his iron play has been great. He's due for a win.
I picked Jake Knapp twice early on in the year, and I think I cursed him. Maybe you're going to bring him back into the fold, and I hope you do, because I love seeing this guy play over the weekend. When the camera's on him, man, everybody gets to see how smooth that dude is, and he makes it look so effortless, and he creates this clubhead speed that translates into ball speed that's got to be in the 190s.
Yeah, he can hit 190. Yeah, and then 9 starts this year. He's got 5 top 10s and 7 top 25s. I mean, he's been stellar. So he's due for a win. Long course, a lot of wind. It's going to require, obviously, the putter to get hot, and he's a very great long iron player as well.
I'm going to go, and for my top 10, I'm going to go with a guy who's won already on tour this year, captured the hearts of Americans. I think he's going to be a Ryder Cupper for years to come. I'm going Cam Young, top 10. He is plus 120 right now. This guy can bang it. But better than that, or more importantly maybe this week, great long iron player, incredible putter. He hits greens in regulation. This dude could run away with this thing. Probably won't, but I'm saying Cam Young is a solid top 10 pick this week. I just think this guy should be a machine, and I think he is a machine. I don't think he's playing much. I mean, he's playing these signature series events, and he doesn't have to play in the Barn Scrabble Open, or the 3M Open, the lesser tournaments on tour. But I like Cam Young's game a lot, and I think it could be suited to a brutally long golf course like this one, where there's trouble right, trouble left. You got to hit it long down the middle. This guy can find fairways and find them at a big clip.
Yeah, and I think with, Rory, Scotty, Fitzpatrick now, Cam Young is up there in that tier of the best players in the world.
He's got to be top 5.
Yeah, and he's been playing some of the best golf of his career again this year. I love that pick. Looked at it, he's got the second shortest odds behind Scotty this week, so Vegas agrees with you there.
Okay. Who you got for your winner?
I know.
You've been beaming about this. I can't wait to hear it.
I know, and I really wanted to take Scotty because I think he's going to have
You didn't.
I didn't take Scotty. I think he's got a good chance to win this week, coming in, second place the last couple of weeks. But I'm taking Adam Scott.
Your guy.
That's one of my guys.
Your guy.
Mr. Adam Scott at plus 3,000. He was the last player to win this tournament.
You mentioned that earlier,
yes. Left Doral in 2016. Okay, so he's going to come back. He's like, I'm the defending champion here 10 years later. But, this year I've been saying and I've been thinking it. He hasn't had a win since 2020, but he's going to win this year. His game's too good. His ball speed's 185 off the tee. He's not losing any distance. He's 45 years old. And to my key stat that I mentioned with Hideki, he's 3rd in strokes gained approach overall this season. He's 1st in strokes gained approach outside of 100 yards this season. Okay? He's straight off the tee, 1st in strokes gained approach. I mean, a lot of them is, by a couple inches and whatnot. I think his proximity is like 28, and then you go down to number 10, and they're like 31. So, it's a few feet here and there, but I think that's going to be important. He didn't play in the RBC. I think he's just gearing up his body, gearing up his mind, ready for this tournament because he knows he can win it because he's done it. Hasn't missed a cut all year. He's been playing some great golf. He's been up there, a lot of top 20s. I love Scotty. I think he's going to just repeat 2016 10 years later.
He's a great pick. It's hard to imagine and wrap your head around the fact that he hasn't won in 5.5 years.
It's really weird.
Tour. I'm sure he's won elsewhere on the other ancillary tours. I hope he has, but he is so damn good at, what is he, 40-ish?
I think he's well, Rosie's 45.
I think she's like 43, 45.
43.
He's in that range.
Yeah.
But has that swing changed? Hasn't changed. It's fucking incredible, dude.
And since he's gone to the broomstick putter, he's been such a better putter. Statistically.
Augusta. Dude.
It's phenomenal.
I don't know if he wins Augusta without that broomstick putter.
No.
I don't know if he does. It's a good pick, man. You've been chomping at the bit to take Adam Scott at some point this year.
I like
this
it.
might be a good one. I mean, he's won here before. But
to
again,
win.
that was the old golf course before the Gil Hanse redesign. It'll be interesting to me because I'm a nerd to see how much it's changed. And they're going to do overlaps of how things have changed. That'll be cool to see. Good pick there, man. Good pick. What's his odds? Plus what?
Plus 3,000.
Oof, man, that's long.
I know.
Okay.
Who do you got as your winner, Steve?
So Fitzpatrick has won 3 times on tour this year. And it would be beyond amazing if he came out and did it again this week.
He's not playing.
He's not playing. You're right.
His brother is, but he's not.
His brother is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alex is going to take full advantage.
He's taking the week off.
Good for you.
Rory's not playing either.
Rory's not playing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, yeah, I did not pick Matthew Fitzpatrick. I'm going with the other multiple winner on tour this year. I'm going with Chris Gotterup. He is plus 2,500. Dude bangs it. We know this. I mean, it's crazy how far this guy hits the ball. Not the prettiest swing in the world. And I've said it before, he would be the first to admit this, but he'd also be the first one to say, I look great on camera.
Yeah.
Guy is tremendous off the tee, tremendous from the fairway. Very underrated putter, but he can close the deal. And I'm looking for him to do that this week. It'd be a cool golf course to see him get this win on, too. He's a New Jersey kid coming down the shore, getting a win in Miami. He might become a South Florida kid as a result. Who knows? We'll have to ask him. He'll come on the show. He's a Rutgers guy. Come on.
Yeah, we might get him. I actually met his brother, or his younger brother's best friend.
You got an instant in. You're like best friends.
We talked about it. We said, hey, we can maybe get Chris on after the season, of course. You know, he's busy right now, but maybe we can line something up.
His Devils aren't playing hockey.
No,
so
he's not
busy.
doing anything in the afternoon.
Busy. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, no, I think Gotterup was a guy I was looking hard at as well. Also, Aldrich Potgieter. I know he's been very spotty this year, but he had a nice finish last week. He was like 25th in the RBC, or the last time he played in the Signature Series event, which I think is impressive with no cut, where you have to go out for 4 rounds, and if you have a bad round, you got to rebound the next day, and you're still in it. He's number 1 in driving distance. Our guy Gary Woodland was a very interesting guy to look at. Hard not to take him.
I looked at him, man.
I know. Knapp was a guy. Marco Penge coming over. I think this is a tournament that he could. I mean, just based on distance alone, right?
Yeah.
Finau, we always know he can bomb it, but he hasn't had really the game this year. He's got a couple decent finishes, but this week was tough. I mean, and
very tough.
Patrick Cantlay, I want to throw it out there. He'll be in the top 20. I didn't like his odds enough.
Okay.
I felt better about Hideki, but I think Cantlay is going to be in the top 5 this week.
Can Cantlay move it?
He can move it for sure. Yeah, he's average, but average on tour is 300. I mean, shit.
Dude's accurate, man.
Yeah.
He's accurate and one of the best putters around.
I don't think there's many guys that are taken out of this tournament from distance alone because of the fact of the water and whatnot. It's like, if you hit a fairway and then you have a 5-iron in every time and you're a great long iron player, you're going to be all right. I mean, what's your winning score prediction? We didn't do that.
Jeez. You just got me thinking about 2 guys like Russell Henley and Brian Harmon.
Those were the 2 that I was thinking of too.
I mean, are they taken out of this, or are they reintroduced because of all the bunkers and all the water and all the danger and
we
the
saw
need
Henley
for?
at the Masters, and
he's deadly accurate.
That was playing 7,500 yards.
It was 75.
I mean, it's not much different.
Dude's deadly accurate.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he comes up, sneaks up, and just
I almost picked Brian Harmon.
Leaves town with a brand new Cadillac?
Brian Harmon's odds are so long. I'm going to take him for a top 20.
Is he to win? Is he 10,000?
Oh, it's probably a lot.
Yeah, man, it's tough to go against those 2 Bulldogs, man. They're nasty little fuckers.
And they're actually Bulldogs.
And they are Bulldogs. I don't even remember what you just asked me there because I was really zoning in on
Your score prediction.
score prediction. Dude, I have no idea.
I wrote one down, but I really have no idea either. We haven't seen the scores.
I will say 10 under.
Mine's 11. Handshake bet, 10.5.
Ooh, there we go.
I'll take the over.
I'll take the under.
Love
There
it.
you go. There's the handshake bet.
That
Good
works
job,
well.
Jack. Were you hoping that I was gonna?
No, I didn't know where you were going to go, but
That's good though,
mine
man.
was 11. I just wanted the odd number. I think
All right.
I think 10's a good score. Honestly, I can see it being in the single digits depending on how hard this course is going to play. But if the greens are rolling and the wind picks up, I mean, good luck shooting double digits over 4 days.
Man, if that wind picks up,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be brutal. Brutal.
I agree. All right, well, that wraps up the picks.
I think it does.
We've got a really fun outside. Well, actually, would be a divot because
would
it's
be
golf related.
Yeah, I think this is I think this is kind of a
It's a bit
mix
of
of the
both.
two. It's a bit of the both.
Yeah.
But I thought I was really happy when you wrote to me this week and asked me about the top 5 swings
Yes.
that are currently on tour.
Yeah.
Now, you said on tour.
Oh,
You did not say PGA Tour.
yes.
So
Hold on.
I have expanded.
Yep, and I'm also not all on tour. I
Okay.
meant top 5 swings in golf.
Okay.
I think that's what I texted. I'm
In
not
golf,
sure. We
yeah.
can check the receipts, and it's not necessarily the best swings. It's our favorite swings. So
Okay.
that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah.
We'll snake this.
Different strokes for different folks, but I think we have to compete for the number 1 pick.
Oh.
We might have the same pick. I'm not showing you my list yet.
Oh, you're dirty.
I mean, we've
All
talked
right,
about
so
this before.
I will go first. I will put myself on the spit. All
No,
right?
I would like to go first.
I know you would like to
So
go
we have
first.
to do rock, paper, scissors. Best 2 out of 3.
On 3 or 3 and then?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Best 2 out of 3. Okay?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Fuck.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Haha.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Haha.
All right, you get 1
2
1.
for 2. All right.
Fuck.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
My top 5 swing.
Number 1.
Oh, we're going to go
Overall.
1?
Yes, you got to go 1 overall down.
Okay, fine.
no,
I'm
top
fine
to
with that.
bottom, yeah.
I'm fine with that. My number 1 swing in the world today, okay, is Nelly Korda. She's got the greatest swing in the world, hands down. Nobody could talk me down from this stance. Coming off of her Chevron win this past week, which was dominant, this woman's swing is perfect. It's perfect. She would probably say that there's multiple flaws with it, but God, it looked perfect this week. And she played great. She missed a bunch of short putts. From what I understand, the whole field did. So not a knock on her for missing short putts, but that swing is perfect.
So that was my number 1 swing
I know
as well.
it was.
That's why we wanted to compete. And I did want to give a shout out to Nelly for winning this week. Another major for her. One of the, second cheers of the night to
Nelly Korda gets the first LPGA cheers on the Talkin' Divots podcast.
That is true.
Nelly, you are the greatest player in the world. Cheers.
We love you, Nelly. I've also had a
Take it easy, dude.
huge crush on Nelly.
She's getting married.
I know, and I was very saddened by that. Sorry if you're watching yeah,
Nelly's soon-to-be husband. Yeah.
not him. I'm talking about people in my life.
Oh.
But no, she had one of the best ball striking days of anyone between hitting fairways and green and regs. It was like over 80% fairways, over 80% green and regs on Sunday on that major. Her swing is phenomenal. It's the one that I study most and I aspire to because it's not getting super high like I physically can't. She definitely has the perfect plane, sets the club so well, and she doesn't look like she's swinging that hard, but she creates some of the top speed on the LPGA Tour for sure.
Yeah.
She's 5'10", maybe
Yeah.
5'11", so she's got the height and the width of everything. But I wanted her 1-1.
I took her from you.
I know.
I took her from you.
I really thought I was going to win rock paper scissors. But all right, well that leaves me with Tiger Woods,
okay.
and he's a swing that has been replicated by many. It's tough to do by most. So much power involved. And when you really slow it down, he's not getting the club that far back. He's just getting it to where his left arm is perfectly straight. It's not the most flexible swing in the world, but he's got that nice turn, that nice cock of the club at the top, perfectly square, and it goes. And it was the swing that inspired me to get into golf, hitting it 40 yards by everyone else on tour. And the fact that, he came out on that run in the late, 1990s and won so many times and then redid his swing because he's like, I'm going to be better. I can be more consistent. I have to time it up perfectly with my first swing. This one's just, effortless. I think that's cool. And he's revamped the swing now into his later years where he's like, I'm going to hit a little push cut every single time, hit every fairway and play my game. Tiger Woods' golf swing will go down, I think in history.
That's hard to argue against, man.
Not I think in history. In history. Let me rephrase that because that's a statement.
Well, I mean, he's still playing, so that's legit.
Yeah.
Like I could have gone back to Ben Hogan,
Yeah.
but this wasn't in history. Tiger's still playing.
Yep.
All right? Don't give up yet. Okay. We're snaking this, so you're going to go with your number 2.
Yeah, so I get 2. I got a nice long list here. I'm going to go with Adam Scott, my guy.
What a shock.
Yep, and I wanted to definitely pair that winner pick with this pick in the draft, so I'm happy I got him. I'm still on the board here. Just one of the most beautiful swings in golf, technically sound, hits every spot perfect. I don't think everyone should replicate it because not many can. Once again, similar to Tiger. It's been so consistent, so good for so many years. Fun to watch.
Yeah.
Adam Scott, I mean, nothing more I really need to say.
No. I mean, that's it. It's he's Rembrandt.
Yep.
I'm going to leave it at that. Good artistic reference by me.
Perfect.
My number 2, and this is a cool one, Freddie Couples.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Couples' swing has not changed over the last 37, 38 years since I first started watching Freddie Couples on TV. He's the coolest. Everybody wants to swing it like Freddie, but nobody else can, man. No glove, no worries. That dude still bombs it. Yeah, he's got 7 hybrids in his bag right now. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
He's Freddie. He can do whatever he wants. He's cool. He still swings it perfectly. He's still competing every week. Freddie, baby.
Freddie's
Still awesome.
Freddie's taken me to Tempo Town so many times
yeah.
where I get all out of sorts with my swing. I just think of Freddie Couples. That's really it.
That's it. When you do have to get back into tempo, you think of Freddie Couples, maybe Ernie Els, guys like that. So I'm going to go with my number 3 as we're on Snake, and I'm going to go with Louis Oosthuizen.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Louis Oosthuizen is probably as technically sound of a swing as you're ever going to see. When he came out of kind of nowhere to win the Open Championship, I fell in love with that swing immediately. I was like, there's not a better swing on the face of the planet. Adam Scott was still there. But Louis Oosthuizen's swing has stood the test of time as well. Doesn't go after it all that hard. Doesn't have to. He's a little box of muscles. And when he hits it, man, Louis is on property.
I miss watching him play a lot. He was one of my favorite picks to win the Masters every year. He was always up there, very competitive. I do miss that, South African man, Louis Oosthuizen.
Yes, you do.
My middle name is also Lewis, so sometimes people call me Louis.
Something I knew that I learned about you today.
Louis. So.
Well, he is Louie, I think, isn't he?
Oh, I think he's
Is he
Louis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You were named after Louis Oosthuizen.
I think I might have been. Yeah. Or my dad or my grandfather. It's the middle name, but probably Louis Oosthuizen.
Who's your 4?
3, actually.
3, sorry.
I'm going to go. I got a long list. I'm going to go with John Daly.
Okay.
Because it's so unique.
Yeah.
And we've never seen anyone bring the club back that far, touching his back, touching his ankles basically, and cock it, and just swing as freely as he did, and just have a lot of fun on the course. One of the most iconic photos ever is him, with his driver basically touching the ground behind him and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Barefoot.
Just nowadays.
Using a Miller Lite as a tee.
This was on tour. This was this was a tour event, like probably a major. But he's one of the most fun guys to watch play. His hands are phenomenal around the greens.
Yep.
And just that, yeah, that driver swing, I mean, I'm sure that got a lot of kids swinging like that and probably ruined their golf games for the rest of their lives. But it was one of my favorite swings to watch growing up, compete against Tiger.
Absolutely, man. And you make a good point. Like, it's a unique swing, and it
Yeah.
goes to show that there is not one blueprint to getting the ball off the tee to the fairway, especially tee to the fairway 330 yards down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, cool, man. I'm glad you went with JD. Who else you got? You really do have a long list.
I think
I picked 5 people, and that was it.
so. My number 4 pick is going to be Ho Sung Choi.
Do
Okay.
explain.
He's a South Korean golfer. He's got 5 wins nationwide. They were on the Korean and Japanese tour. He's got a few starts on the PGA Champions Tour. You know, it was kind of early 2000s to, mid 2010s. Not the best player in the world, right? Didn't make a lot of noise. You need to watch his highlight tape of his swings, and they're not his shots. They're his swings and his follow-throughs.
Okay.
Okay, he typically, wraps the driver around his neck, picks up his back foot, spins sometimes. He'll dance at the ball.
I've seen this guy.
I'm going to send you a video.
I've seen this guy. That's his. Okay, that's the craziest swing I've ever seen in my life.
It's the craziest swing, on a professional tour you'll ever see. His mixtape is amazing. Maybe we can add it to this pod if there's no copyright issues. Like, little clip right now. Boom.
You are putting, how do you say his name? Ho Sung Choi?
Ho Sung Choi.
Ho Sung Choi, you are putting in the same paragraph as Nelly Korda.
Top 5 swings in golf.
I worry about you sometimes, but I think you are the most entertaining man I know.
It is phenomenal the way he swings it. It inspires me every day. I try to do it. I can't. I hurt my knee, twisted my MCL.
He looks like a guy who's like kind of crashing the party.
Yes.
And he's there until security throws him out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, he's like not. He's the guy who's like not supposed to be there, but just like makes the biggest scene as well. So he's not being subtle about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
right.
He's number 4.
Okay, that's a very interesting list you've compiled, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I am going to go with a much more conventional route. With my number 4 is Rory McIlroy. 5'7", maybe 5'8", 5'9" if he's got heels on.
9.
And he is going to hit it 50 yards past you. I don't care if you're 6'2", 220 and a box of muscles. Rory is going to blow it past you. It's not just his driver swing. He's improved his wedge swing over the last 5 years, and I just love it. He used to really come across his wedges, and it would come in from the left and
Too much spin.
too much
Yeah.
spin. Now he's more down the line. His swing is so much better now than it was 3 years ago. I hope he'd be the first to tell you. If he's not, I will be. I love what Rory does with his swing. He's got this little pre-move where it's almost like he rocks. Like we've seen Kyle Berkshire,
Yeah.
where he's like got that big move. And he's a long drive champ, so that's what he does to generate power. Rory kind of gets himself moving, but then it's just all under control. God, it's beautiful, man. Like it's just, I love watching that dude swing on Sunday because you know it's gonna be big and you know that it's gonna be down the middle.
Yeah. It's once again like kind of a perfect swing that you try to replicate. Very difficult. I'll tell you, it didn't even make my list. And I've got
I'm gonna tell him.
I got 12 guys here.
I'm gonna tell him.
But he is a guy who I think he's listed at 5'9" on the sheet.
Okay.
Sometimes you exaggerate that, but I like to think he's my height, 5'9". He hits it so much farther than I do, so maybe that's why he didn't make my list. I'm a little jealous. Blah blah blah. It's neither here nor there.
I do have a cool number 5, and we've mentioned him earlier in the show. It's so smooth. It's so cool, and I think unique because I don't see anybody else with a collapsed left arm this smooth. Jake Knapp at my number 5 with a bullet. There is nobody on tour right now as smooth as this guy with a driver in his hand. I don't know if it translates down in through his bag, but watching this guy hit drivers is special.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching him hit tee shots, even if it's with a 3-wood. Dude just bombs it. He looks like he's just kind of going after it at 95 miles an hour swing speed. Nope, that's 120 miles an hour, folks. He's got 190 plus ball speed, and it's like effortless.
Yeah, it's the way he lags his club is so
Yeah.
good. I mean, it is buttery, silky smooth to watch. I think it translates to his putting too. He's got one of the smoothest putting strokes, and he uses one of those bigger mallets, so it's just straight back, straight forward, but it's flowy, it's smooth, and I think that, he's got hands. Whether he played hockey or lacrosse or whatever.
An LA kid. I bet you he played some lacrosse.
Yeah, maybe some of that.
I don't know if he played any hockey. I know he's thrown a couple punches in his lifetime. He was a bouncer.
Sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
he didn't have to. He's got some guns. Maybe people were just like a little intimidated on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him.
Yeah. He's got a mullet and a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy can handle himself. Who's your 5?
All right, this might come to his surprise, or come as a surprise to most. And, a lot of people may not know him, but it's Chris Mahulidis. You made it, Chris.
Oh my God.
I've got Tommy Fleetwood, Ernie Els, Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson. It's Chris Mahulidis at number 5. My member,
you are such
my
a
member
junkie.
guest, champion partner. We won it here right on the 9th hole. One of my favorite, golf swings. Well, actually, not one of my favorite golf swings to watch. One of the most amazing golf swings to watch, due to the fact that he. Nice catch.
That was a good catch.
He brings it back, okay? He brings the club back, and then he starts his downswing and then stops. And then he gets his hips starting to turn. Then he brings it back again, sets it at the top, and then goes.
Oh my God.
I could physically never make contact with the ball doing it. He's, an 8 handicap doing it every single time on purpose. That's the thing, is like he does it on purpose.
Have you ever seen his practice swing?
That's phenomenal.
It's gorgeous.
Silky.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And from, inside 70 yards.
I can't believe he made your top 5.
I texted him today about it.
Oh my God.
And from inside 100 yards, he doesn't do the hitch, but he doesn't move his hips. So it's all, I mean, he also putts from 50 yards and in, and he's got 2 putters in his bag, one from putting off the green and one inside the, on the green.
In all fairness, and I got to stop Jack at this flight of fancy here, Chris Mahulidis has got one of the ugliest golf swings I've ever seen in my life. Charles Barkley could give him tips. If you've ever seen, like, rush hour traffic where it's just stop and go and stop and go, that's a closer resemblance to Chris Mahulidis' golf swing than anything fluid thinking. It's unique for sure.
Listen,
but I'm a bit embarrassed for you that it made
the
your top
criteria
5.
was top 5 best golf swings that we've seen, and this is one of the best because it's impressive that he can make contact with the ball doing that has become his routine. He's also a phenomenal competitor and partner out there on the course, and I want to acknowledge that. So, Chris, you're number 5 on my list. You beat out Ernie, Tommy Fleetwood, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Max Homa. I mean, light years.
Hey, you know what? It was left open to interpretation. I salute you for that. But my Lord, I thought it was weird enough that you mentioned Ho-Sung Choi
Phenomenal
with
swing.
Nelly Korda. But to mention Chris Mahulidis with Nelly Korda is borderline blasphemous.
Listen, Nelly didn't make my list. She's on yours, so.
I stole her from you.
Yeah.
She would have made your list had I not stolen her from you.
Yeah.
So I think what I did by going first was I triggered your craziness.
I think that
I don't think Mahulidis makes your list if you had gone first.
Who's at number 8 in my rankings?
Who's at number 8?
He was at number 8.
Mahulidis was.
Yeah.
So did I steal 3 from you, or are there 2 in there that you...
No, I skipped JT and Homa and Ernie Els.
Oh my God, there is
Straight to
no
Chris.
hope for you. Do you have a church key? Or am I
Yeah,
just
we can
going
open
old
that.
school? Okay. So Jack, that was a very interesting look at our favorite swings, our top 5 favorite swings.
I mean, I'm going to make a little post about it on Instagram. We'll do a vote and see who likes whose list better.
Oh, you know Mahulidis is going to vote for himself like 150 times.
Obviously. He'll only get 1 vote, but he'll probably get his family members and his close acquaintances to vote as well,
Okay.
which is good for our account.
I want to usher in an Outside the Ropes, which is very near and dear to my heart, and it will be for people of my age and my generation. Jack, I have bought and sold CDs for 35 years, okay? I used to really look forward to taking an entire day to sift through the endless racks of CDs that were once beloved by whoever, but now they have, ended up at my fingertips. And I used to really look forward to doing this once every other week. I mean, I would bring 2 cups of coffee with me, 2 big Dunkin' Donuts cups of coffee, and I would just sit there at Blondie's in Oakland for hours and hours, and I'd sift through, and I found out some great stuff. And I haven't done this for about a decade, but I broke that streak this past Friday, and I went and I sold the last of my CDs. I get my music through streaming services, like 90% of people in America now, right? But there's something lost on that. But what I found was that selling CDs is still a thing. Now, I walked into this place and I thought, oh my God, this is gonna be a cobweb-infested, hole-in-the-wall money laundering front that sells the occasional CD from 1996. I was very, very wrong. Yeah, this place was small, but well-maintained. There were probably 10 people in there, and they were all actively buying records and CDs. Now, the fascination with vinyl is not lost on me. That's probably never gonna end. People will always buy vinyl. It's cool, I get that. But I can't tell you the last time I actually played a CD, let alone bought one. So I was very, very happy to see that this type of commerce still exists in America and is apparently doing pretty well. Have you ever bought a CD?
Not that I can remember. No, never.
Because you are 27 years old and nobody
I had
likes
an
you.
iPod, and the last, thing I can think of close to that is when iTunes, you had to buy individual albums or buy individual songs rather than being able to stream, the whole library constantly. But no, I had CDs, and maybe they were purchased for me or intended for me that I played in my car originally, but it was mostly, all through the phone.
It is strange that cars are still built with CD players.
Yeah.
Like,
not to this day.
not like right now, but
yeah.
like I'm driving a car that's 8 years old and it's
Yeah.
got a CD player. Does your car have a CD player?
Yeah, I think so.
mean-
No, it has like SIM cards.
Okay. Yeah. So it's funny to me that CDs are still a form of music. In America, in the world, whatever. But what it made me, this trip to this CD store, what it made me realize is how uncool streaming music services are. I used to get this great rush, this great, musical journey expansion through seeing the cover art in CDs and the liner notes in CDs, the inlay cards. It was cool. It was like some of my favorite music is also accompanied by some of my favorite cover art and inlay cards and liner notes. You follow along with the lyrics while you listen to it. It's just really, just brings me back. It brings me back to being 12 years old, or actually I think I was like 10 years old the first time I listened to Van Halen 1 with these big old earphones in my bedroom, listening to the first few notes of Running with the Devil. And I swear to God, I thought the devil was in the room with me. I think that's lost now. And I think a lot of that is because I'm not holding anything. I don't know. I might just be an old man. Who knows?
Yeah, listen, the Spotify and Apple Music, you have access to all these different albums, right? There's no barrier. So if I want to go listen to that Van Halen album, I could do it on my ride home.
I suggest
Before,
you do.
I would have to go to a store and pick up the CD, and maybe I wouldn't do that. So I think the access to music is very important for everyone, because I'm getting to hear anything I want if I pay $7.99 a month through Spotify. It's just the ease and the way to do it these days that no one, you're not going back unless you have a CD player and you really appreciate that. The vinyl is different things. It sounds a little different on a record player, and collecting those vinyl albums is really darn cool. And a lot of my friends do it even at my young age of 27. But
nobody likes you.
But I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy having access to any album I want at any given time. I still do appreciate the cover art. I look at it, and if it's shitty, then I'm like, that's pretty shitty. And it does affect the way that you look at an album.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to put 2 and 2 together and produce the best product for your audience. So
absolutely.
No, I think that's still important.
Absolutely. That awakening that you used to have when you'd bring a new album home as a kid, it's still very palpable to me. Like I can still remember that feeling. Even like with CDs as a older kid, you get a new CD, man, I couldn't wait to pull the liner notes out and be like, oh man, well, even as an adult, I loved it. And I just think there's something lost with it. But at the same time, man, I love the convenience of streaming music. It's so much easier. But, I think in the end, like when I finally let, the final part of my tangible music past go adrift this past Friday, I just hope that the next person who buys my once beloved and still beloved CDs, if it ends up on their fingertips, I hope they love that journey as much as I did.
All right, that's a beautiful thought.
Yeah, man. Little bit of nostalgia for you.
A little nostalgia. Well, I think that wraps up episode 14 of the Talking Divots podcast. Please make sure to check out this full episode on Spotify and YouTube. We also have Instagram clips coming out weekly. TikTok's picking up pace for some reason. Everyone loves us on TikTok.
Hey man, TikTok's a thing.
I mean, we only have like 50 followers, but they get a ton of views at Talking Divots. We'll see you here next week, hopefully, or maybe at another venue. We're definitely venturing out a little bit more here and there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some of the videos for Where's the First Tee out.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one almost complete. We've got 2 holes left. We're tied still. See what happens. I am Jack Snow.
I'm Steve Byrne. Thank you for tuning in to the Talking Divots podcast. We'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.